Do you know how long it takes for any country to forget God? Maximum 100 years. Any country. Because if you look at the Bible, they said Moses knew God, generation 1. A generation is now between 20 to 25 years. Joshua knew God, generation 2. Elders knew God, generation 3. By the time the judges came, the Bible says, and there arose a generation that did not know God. Meaning that all you need for you to focus on your ID customer to change is 4 times change of staff. And all the wonderful things, all the training you've done, this is what we want to cater for, this one, by the 4th generation of your staff. Between the 3rd and the 4th set of staff coming to your destiny, you find yourself, everything that you set up is used to cater to another set of customers. So the moment you realize that it takes at least 3 to 4 sets of staff for you to completely lose focus of why you set up your business. You know, there's a particular pharmacy owner who has been calling me that she needs to come to her distance to tell her why her business is suddenly going down. And somehow it has not occurred to her that why her sales is dropping is because she has just done another change of staff. And she has been asking me, how come all these staff are not like these last 2 sets? Eh? If these guys you brought for me, why can't you go and find them again? But she forgets one critical lesson. Now that first set of staff that I got for her, when we got them in, we trained them, we talked to them about how to attend to the kind of patients they want them to attend to. She was always there with them, telling them what to do. When those people who moved out, the next set came. Now the 3rd set have come. 3rd, moving to the 4th generation, sales have dropped. It means that any particular point you have a new set of staff, as a business owner, is the moment you need to come back to the front line. It's the moment you need to start, especially one-on-one coaching and one-on-one training. If they're attending to somebody and say, okay, you need to use the cheap anti-malaria, you come here and say, yeah, this is okay, but we also have this. Next time, use this one to treat. Because if you don't, you have a structure designed for those who know God. But you wake up for one day, say you have a generation that don't know God. And ask yourself, what happened? Because of generational changes, and nobody took our time to, as the generation was changing, nobody took our time to say, you need to pass this value over, and you need to follow it up to ensure that they are being implemented. The next important point, so you also need to understand is, for those your ideal customers, what are the things that will drive them away from you? Because you need to understand something. Assuming we come here in the middle of the night, how would I put it? Okay, if you bring a candle, let's say this is the middle of the night, and you bring a candle here. If you light up the candle, what will happen? It will light up, you can see your way around. Abi? Now, but if you leave that candle and it's going down and going down, what will be happening? Darkness will be coming back again. If you have your ID customer, most times you don't deliberately drive them away. It's more like you have lights the candle that is attracting them. But if you don't take out time to continue recharging the candle and the energy, if you ignore that power source that is attracting them, and those things that are attracting them is going down and going down. As it's going down, the darkness is coming. Those ones that are supposed to be attracted by the light are leaving. If you have set up things that are designed to attract a particular set of people, but unconsciously you are focusing on another set of customers, do you know what will happen? All those things. Let me give you a particular example. How many of you have entered BRT? Now, do you know how BRT was when it first came out? When BRT came out initially, it was anybody could enter BRT. Very clean. Before you know it, the darkness had to enter. Light was dying off. Maintenance was dying off. In as much as it was designed to attract those people, everybody. But before you know it, the high class people started to move out. And BRT started to turn into Molue. Now they've changed again with the new set of the blue buses. So the blue buses can attract them. But have you seen those red buses that I see those first sets? That is the same thing with your business. If you don't take out time to make sure that my facilities are geared towards serving these people, and anytime they start to shift away from them and bringing them, those guys will walk away. So one of the things I want you guys, when you go up, is to look at your environment and say, if these are the people that we designed our place to attend to, is the look of our place still attractive to them? The way our people talk, will it still appeal to them? Because if somebody all he has is 500 naira, if you insult them or if you talk down to them, you're innocent. Don't give me medication that will take care of my challenge. But somebody who can afford 5,000, you talk really to that person, the person will walk away. That is why one of the things I was telling you was, one of the greatest job, the biggest job of any business owner is not how to recruit great people. His greatest job is how to fire bad people. For you to pollute a barrel of apple, all you need is one bad apple. And the infection will spread from that one into every other one. So your job to make sure that, look into your system, any bad apple you see, you take it out. Because that one bad apple will make sure that others get infected and you have any good apple there. So, we now come to our ideal customers. What are the things we now need to do for them? For you guys, I'm focusing on, from what I'm seeing, from what we've discussed, that you guys were when you set up, we were targeting people who could afford between 5,000 to 10,000 per visit. So looking at these people, it don't just apply for your listing, even for any business. There are certain things that how your business looks is related to the sales you make. So the next thing I will be talking about is your premises look, your business look, and the sales you make. What are the relationships? The first one, which is the most important one, is ambience. How many of us realize that in shopping malls, maybe ShopRite for instance, that things are actually cheaper in the market than in ShopRite? Now, why will people go to ShopRite and spend more? The primary reason people go there instead of going to the market is because of the ambience of the place. Ambience. The appeal of the place. You know, my wife uses this place as her school. And one of the things that all the parents that have always come here, the moment they step in, they say, wow, this place is very clean. So they know that the ambience of this place is designed to make it appealing for any parent who wants at least the safety of his or her child. My question to you people, if I walk into your shop now, how many dead bulbs will I find? Yeah, madam? No. Are you sure? Inside and outside? Yeah. If I walk into your this thing now, how many counters will I find stickers on?
You find what?
Stickers.
I didn't get you.
The stickers. Companies pasted on shelves, on.
You have them.
Okay, like all these antibiotics.
Yeah. No, all these stickers that companies give out now.
Flyers.
No, there's these stickers now that you open and they might just write Ciprotab there. Companies paste on doors and this in on pharmacy. On your glass, on your sliding glass, is there anything there or is it just
No, we don't have anything.
your shelves? Are there any broken parts of the shelves?
No.
How often is the shelf dusted?
Every week.
So these are, well, it's good that people are maintaining it. Like I always tell, and also one of the things I try to tell people in my session is, my questions is not for you to impress me. My question is basically for when you go back, for you to look at it and say, these questions, do I really have the answers to them in my place? Because you can say, okay, wonderful, we have this, but when you get back, you know that this is not there. So the ambience of a place is very, very critical. Ambience is what attracts the right people. Ambience is what drives away the wrong people. There are certain kinds of people that, even if they are almost dying, will not have the confidence to walk into Health Plus. There are certain people, even if they are dying, there are certain pharmacies they can't walk in. But when they see Health Plus anywhere, they will walk in. Because of the ambience of the place. The ambience of your place, what message is it conveying? Not just so do you have all the bulbs are working. Do you have the right colors of bulb? Which is wonderful. Because there are certain, there is a way you walk into a place. Just the look of it will make it very appealing for you to walk in. And if your place doesn't have that pool, people won't come in. The arrangement of your shelves, how is it designed? The products there, those are part of ambience. The floor, how often is it cleaned? If somebody walks in, what's the probability that I'll see empty packets of drugs on the floor? If you've ever gone to any of the Health Plus or Med Plus or even Vatican, there are people always on standby with a mop. I'm not saying that people should do that, but at least somebody should be consciously saying that any empty packet should go into the wastebasket. It's when you train people on that. There's something that my wife does with her students here. Little children of about 1 year, 2 years. But once they finish anything, their biscuit, say, go and trash it. And you find out that when you do that with a child 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, by the 10th time, once they just finish biscuits, he's taking the trash straight. But that can only happen because you kept repeating it and repeating it with that child. Same thing applies to any adult. If once the last packet, the person is dropping, you say, pick it and go and drop it there. You repeat it and repeat it. Before you know it, once a medication is finishing, the person takes it and is going to the nearest wastebasket. You need to establish the culture you want to be in your organization and start to re-emphasize and re-emphasize and re-emphasize it. So that it becomes a habit in your system. The next thing too is ease of movement. I don't know how your shop floor is arranged, but there's a strange thing I find amongst low-end pharmacies. When you come in, there's no kind of barricade you will not see. You think it's a central maximum security prison. Ironically, you go to those who are really doing very big sales, and you don't see any barricade. Because what people fail to realize is that people hate barricade. Now, if those who are doing very well don't have all those barricades and restriction, why is it that those who are not doing well are locking themselves out? But what we fail to ask ourselves is, if I'm the person buying something, will I like this experience? What is the ease of movement around your place? You need to make it it's better to have fewer shelves that people can walk around in than to have so much shelves that people can move around, they can just stand and look around. Because when people are walking around, they can actually see things that they need that was not in their initial budget. That is why if you have gone, I keep on using the top pharmacies. If you've gone to any of them, the first thing you notice that there's enough walking around space. It's a deliberate design to encourage people to walk around, because they realize that the more people walk around, the more they see things that were not in their initial budget and say, oh, what is this? That is why if you look at, even in ShopRite and all the big malls, you have enough walking space. Because as you're walking, you'll be seeing things that you didn't initially budget for and you buy them. But if there's if you don't have enough walk around space and ease of movement is restricted, people will just come in and go direct to what they want and pick it and go. And those are not the kind of things you want in your business. Lighting is critical. The next point I want to talk about is something called broken window principle, and which is a major reason why your business, your sales might be going down. What does broken window principle mean? Let's say this house is located on the road. Somebody is passing and he throws a stone that breaks the window, and nothing is done about the window. Somebody else is passing and sees that the window is broken and the place is dusty and nothing is done about it. Just carry his Mr. Big's nylon, empty this in and drop it there. Somebody else comes, sees the window broken, sees dust everywhere, sees the waste there, takes his own waste and dump it there. And that person comes, see the broken window, see the dust, see the waste there, and he's pressed, middle of the night, say, man, let me ease myself here. Eases himself there. And 1 year down the line, this house that was designed very well has been turned into a refuse dump, simply because a broken window was not addressed. How does it apply to your own premises? How does it apply to your premises? You have a broken shelf, a glass in your shelf. Use sellotape and hold it. We'll do it later. And that's how I see the broken shelf with the sellotape, and sees another crack in this thing. So use more sellotape and puts it. Now, because somebody saw a sellotape that was used to hold the broken glass, and sees another sellotape that was used to hold another crack, say, I can't see any hole under sellotape. This other one, let me just break it out, and breaks up that particular place. And somebody comes, sees the broken glass, sees the sellotape, sees this other broken one. So this is fine. Let me also put my sticker here. Put it. And then a staff that is normally comes in well dressed, looking neat and smart, comes in, sees the broken glass, sees the broken the sellotape, the broken off parts, see this thing. So man, this is my lab coat, say, why wear it? And one day you come into your pharmacy and you look at it, everywhere is looking decayed. Why? Because that small broken glass, you didn't do anything about it. The moment you start to manage any breakdown in your business is the point that business starts to go down. And when it starts to go down, the ideal customer that you initially designed it for, when they come, they notice those little things, consciously or unconsciously. And once they start to notice it, they start to walk away. Because somebody who is normally attracted to by a smart dressed pharmacist comes in, but because the pharmacist has seen the sticker and the broken this thing and had decided not to wear his smart pharmacist lab coat anymore, stops wearing it, and this guy comes in, doesn't see any smart dressed pharmacist. I just assume that everybody here is a sales boy. Let me go to where there's a pharmacist. Simply because nobody took time to do anything about a small depreciation that they notice in one of the furnitures or in one of the activities of the pharmacist or the support staff. A pharmacist starts to look unkempt and nobody talks to him or her. And the other, maybe one of the other non-pharmacists that had been admiring the pharmacist say, wow, if this is the new look, let me also copy them. And they also start to dress that way. And before you know it, all the staff in the pharmacy starts to dress like a ragamuffin. And somebody who used to come there to spend 10,000, 20,000 comes in and says, no, this is not the kind of place I want to see myself. Or how many of you have had places where you normally used to go and buy something, but one day you just went in there and you never went back again? It might not occur to you consciously, but unconsciously you have looked at this place and said, this is not the place I subscribe to. Something has changed. It's not just us, it's also the same thing with our own customers. If we don't consciously make effort, once we are seeing things going down, to stop the changes and the decay, one day this guy will come in, look at our appearance, look at the way the shop looks, and unconsciously we'll make the decision that this is not the kind of place I want to do business with, and they'll walk away. Those are part of the reasons why our sales is dropping. Our looks has been going down, nobody cared. The appearance of the shop has been depreciating, nobody has been doing anything about it. Unfortunately, customers that we have been attracting before noticed, and they are walking away. And as they are walking away with their money. As they are walking away with their money, the sales are dropping. Any questions so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have this question that in case whereby you have a great taste and the location is fine, your the appearance of the pharmacy is fine and everything, and at the end of the day, customers walking, and the average number of customers that are walking are people that you present these things to, as you have said, the high income drugs and all that, and at the end of the day, you don't have the money to pay for them, and you end up going for the low ones. What do you do in that case?
Well, address is part of the thing that we'll still talk about later on. The next area I want to talk about are critical sales driving factors. What are factors that are critical to sales? The first one is become an expert in a given area. For those of you who are in retail pharmacy, can decide to become an expert in disease conditions. Meaning that when somebody comes in and tells you that he has malaria, and you start to break down malaria to that person, the person will know that, yes, I'm in the presence of a top guru here. Let me give you an instance. Let's say you come in and you say you have, since malaria has been my major disease, but let me continue with malaria. So a patient comes in and says, I think I have malaria. I ask him, why do you think you have malaria? I say, well, high fever, bitter taste in my mouth. I say, well, malaria is normally caused by a vector called Plasmodium falciparum, carried by female Anopheles mosquitoes. Now, when this thing is injected into your bloodstream by the mosquito, the microorganism actually goes to your liver, and your liver, it breaks down your red blood cells. And when it breaks down your red blood cells, particles of these red blood cells start to flow in your bloodstream. And when they flow, they activate vessels in your blood cells that cause your body to react to it. And that is what is causing you the high fever. Now, also the bitter tastes are because these things are generating bites in your bile gland, and the bile glands are actually coming to your mouth. That's why you're having the bitter taste. So you actually need something not to only clear the mosquito in your bloodstream, the parasite in your bloodstream, but most importantly, you need to also clear the deposit of the parasite in your liver. Because once you clear the ones in your bloodstream and the one in the liver is still there, it will continue multiplying and still give you the fever. That is why some medications, when you take them, will work for some time, but after some time you have a relapse. It's because it's cleared those ones in the bloodstream, but the ones in the liver are still there. If you give that person a special medication, do you think he will die? The magic is in the detail. Become an expert in a certain area. If you're not an expert about the disease conditions, become an expert in the drugs. So if you have chosen that we will become an expert in disease conditions, everybody, even if the support staff, must become expert in the disease conditions. And which is one of the things I highly recommend to every small business owner. On a weekly basis, run training in that area you want to become an expert in. For you guys in retail pharmacy, if it's disease that you're choosing that you want to become experts in, when you come with the disease, you today you are discussing malaria. You tomorrow, next week you are discussing typhoid. So as you are sharing the information every day, one day you wake up, everybody has become an expert. There's something we do here in my wife's school, and which is we want every child who comes here maximum 1 month to have learned how to count 1 to 10 and ABCD. And one thing we do every day for 2 hours, we play a video that's all about ABCD. They play this video over and over and over, and also play videos of counting 1 to 1 to 50. Every day, over and over. And you know what we found out? Maximum, no matter how dull a child is, maximum 2 weeks, the child has started learning how to count and how to recite their ABCD. Same thing with our staff. Choose an area you want to become a master in, and do the training over and over and over and over. And one day you wake up, even your gate man can discuss a disease state, and you're wondering, wow, where did this guy get this thing from? Am I making sense? So, which is the next point is, when you've chosen an area you want to become a master is, train your people to master that area. You need to train everybody, both the medical and non-medical staff. Because you want a situation whereby even if somebody walks in, the doorman can actually, oh, you bought this medicine, okay, it's for malaria. Malaria is done by this. These are some of the things you need to take. You need to, this fruit will actually affect the malaria because it contains, affect the anti-malaria because it contains vitamin C. So when somebody comes in, even the doorman can tell him something related to malaria because he's been part of the training. You know that this is an area where I need to come to constantly. So it's not just for you guys to come to this training. A major takeaway you guys must have is that a critical sales driving factor is becoming an expert in an area. And when you've chosen that area, you need to train yourself at least once a week. Over and over. Don't choose so many areas. Choose an area you want to become a master in. You can decide to become masters in herbal medicine. You can decide to become masters in prescription drugs, or masters in disease states. I'm not saying that you won't know every other thing. You know other areas, but this area, you are the master of it. Just like in a football match. How many of us know that even a goalkeeper can score? Because there are certain times, maybe dying minutes, you see a goalkeeper will leave his post to the other side. But you know that his primary area His primary job in that field is to prevent others from scoring. But it doesn't mean that he too can score in the other people's post. That same thing applies to us. We should know every other thing, because sometimes too, even if he's not scoring, there are a time when a ball will be coming, he runs out of his 18th to go and help to defend. But his primary job is the goalpost. That's the same thing too with us. We need to find an area, we know everything, but we'll find an area that when it comes to this area, we are the reference point. The critical sales driving point is attend to your customers from that point. Meaning that if you decide to master drugs and somebody comes in and says, I have malaria, it's okay. Let's say the area you decide to master is in drugs, not the disease state, which I've shown you if you want to master disease state, what you can do. But let's say you want to master drugs and somebody comes in with malaria, normal symptoms. Okay, I think you need ACT. This one contains artemether-lumefantrine. Artemether is the longer active one. It stays longer in your bloodstream so that it will take care of, so it stays shorter in your bloodstream, so it wipe off every other thing in your bloodstream. But the lumefantrine part has a longer half-life. What this means that this one will stay longer. And because it stays longer, it will also kill the parasite in your bloodstream. Now, the therapeutics index of this one is so and so. The side effects which you might experience are headache, malaria, but those ones are minor. This drug, you don't take it with vitamin C because vitamin C oxidizes it. I don't know if you are getting the point I'm trying to make. The area you've chosen to master, you know it so well that when you start to explain it to a customer, you know that this guy is unique. So that you guys need to sit down and tell yourself. If you can decide to choose herbal. Somebody comes in and say, okay, I same malaria. And it's okay, we have this Echisinia cola. I hope did I get that? This one? Wait, what's the... I'm trying to say the botanical name of that this thing. No, neem. Yeah, that we have neem plant capsule. It's actually a herbal product, and it's part of. Sorry. The botanical name. Okay, you just know the botanical name, but I'm talking about the. Let's just talk about it. So this one is, it's okay, yeah. So it's the herbal product, but what you do for you, after you've taken out this one, it also has some anti-malaria effect. Now we know that anti-malaria is endemic. So you need something that will help you, a herbal product that will not retain the toxicity like orthodox medicine, but also help you to reduce the incidence of malaria in your blood, in your life. So you just need to be taking this once every day, and it's a pure herbal medicine that your body will just break down like as it's breaking down food, but also will keep you at bay from having malaria. I don't know if you are following the point I'm making. So when you are making this thing from the area you are coming from, the customer can actually see that this person is a master in this area. And when he or she is relating to you, they can say, yes, I'm relating to a master. So there has to be an area you can say, yes, I've chosen to master this area. Are you guys following? The next one is the next and very vital critical sales driving factor is make add-on sales suggestion from that point. So let's say you've decided to master drugs, and somebody come and you educated the person on the drugs and all the activities. Do you think when you make, I think you also need this supplement, do you think that person will be open to listen to you? So when you know that you've mastered an area, that has positioned you to be able to make other add-on sales. So if you have mastered disease states,